can't lose. I can't lose. Either way, this all against, it's time to choose. I can't lose. I might cruise. God help me get it from the mud, no excuse.
Oh man, I ain't even understand. I ain't even here chan. I ain't even know the rain loss made me a warrior, man.
My bad. I thought you was giving me the bat signal.
I was giving you the transition. You and I are going to be on the right side of history.
Yes, sir.
And
we try to be, anyways.
Yeah, we try to be. We've had a couple names we hit on. Swamp.
Yeah, I mean,
Don.
Oh man, I had Berg Bucks. Man, that was crazy out here.
There were some rough ones. You
try to warn me.
But speaking of history, Vlad, we have a Twitter mailbag that I kind of posed, and it was a special kind of mailbag.
Oh, sweet.
I asked everybody on Battle Rap Twitter, what are some of the biggest sliding door moments in Battle Rap? And if you don't know what sliding door moments means, it's kind of like, what are the all-time what-if moments? Vlad, we got a ton of responses, my friend.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear these.
It's quite a few, so definitely going to have to lightning through a bunch of them.
I can't wait to hear these.
Let's start small. At Sunny08312, salute to you. What if Big Gerald never said yes, sir?
Oh, man, that would have been a quiet moment. It would not have hit the same way. Chigger Chase would not have done a 360. The crowd wouldn't have erupted as crazy as they would. The angle still would have been fire, but it would not have been as legendary as it was.
Ah, man. Safe to say that Hitman is very upset at his father.
Big Gerald.
It's like Vlad. It's like having the ball, right, when you're up 5, and not even 5. I'll say 4. You're up 4, right, and you have the ball, and it's under the shot clock. Like it's less than 24 seconds available. All you gotta do is wait for you to get fouled. But instead, you turn the ball over. And now you cut the game to a 1-possession game, and then you miss one of the free throws. So if they make a 3, it's going to overtime. That's the exact perfect analogy for what Big Gerald did with saying yes, sir. Hitman probably would have won that battle clearly.
But that became a 3rd round KO, man. Once Big Gerald said yes, sir, seal the deal. Yo, I always wanted Verb to just end the battle right there on that note, man.
Yeah, people always forget he doesn't end the battle there. He keeps going for a long time.
Yeah, because there's some Mortal Kombat blood scheme.
Almost tarnishes it.
Yo, if you watch the battle from that point on, you're like, why are you still rapping, dog? Like, it was, the way he was like, no. I thought he was going to come with something crazy after that, but it was just like, man, there are very few perfect moments in battle rap, and that was one of them. I thought he should have left on that Jordan, you know what I'm saying, the fadeaway right over there from the Jazz, and just walked off the stage after that one, man. That was too perfect.
I concur. Another sliding doors moment. Shouts to our guy, HBY, big supporter of the show, my guy. What if your Armageddon event actually happened as a full event?
Ooh.
Hey Vlad, I'll run you the card. You run me your opinions. How about that?
Yes, sir.
So the Armageddon card in full was being headlined by Disaster and Rex.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of seeing how that happened, so I think there's no difference there. Surf and Conceited doesn't happen in a small room; it happens on the stage. Still same battle?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's still the same battle.
I was confident of you. I'll give you that. Goods and X Factor still happen in kind of the same environment. So, what do you think? Same results?
Yeah, definitely. I think it would have been crazy.
Young L and JC happened, but with almost no audience.
Yeah,
what if that battle
crowd.
has an audience?
I think it looks crazier for JC. I think it looks crazy. Yo,
I can't believe my ears. I'm gonna have to check my airwaves on this one.
Once
what?
Young Ill starts doing them dance moves and all that, man,
and
the
it
kid
ain't
playing
gonna
all
hurt
that.
nobody.
What? Are you crazy? Yeah, that would have been crazy for you, man.
Math and Dose were supposed to happen on the stage, not a small room.
Oh man, that would have been uglier for Dose, man.
Yeah, Dose would have been a part of the statistical group of people returning.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been a good look.
Shotgun Suge and Bill Collector I think we'll get the same results.
Yeah.
And K-Shine and DNA. I'm not confident that Professor Shine was available at the time.
Yeah, I think that was something that when he got a chance to go back, he recooked and was like, "Oh, I got something for that ass, man." And I don't think we get DNA playing a beat if we got that going on the first time. Gave that brother too much time to go and be creative, man.
Hey, speaking of DNA, I'll segue to the next sliding door submission. At the real DNA Tooth says, "What if DNA never lost me?"
Yo, come on, man. Yo, this is ridiculous, man. Next sliding door, yeah.
Well, Vlad, I actually have an answer. If DNA never lost his tooth, there's not a guy with a puppet behind Twitter that is stronger than most media members.
Oh.
All right. Young Simba tweets us, sliding doors moment. What if Loaded Lux would have wrapped his actual second round against Calico?
Yo, man. Then there's tons of content in that second round, which was still his first round, that wouldn't have gotten delivered. And who knows how it throws off the rest of his battle. So I'm glad it went down the way that it did, man.
I always think about whenever people ask me, because it's not the first time I've been asked, what if Lux had that second round? Because you hear it on paper, right? I guess you hear it like in sparring mode, where he's just in the little room. And by the way, Lux had a lot of edits in that bitch, so I ain't too sure he got that off clean either. You know, if he went to go spit that at Flex, it wouldn't be one take. I tell you that. But the content sounded beautiful. I have no doubt that it would have translated on the stage, because that round actually had better punches than shoot through to the cardboard. It's cardboard. You know what I mean? Like that round actually had punches. My thing about the what if is, I always think to the fact like, damn, Calico had the nerve to play for half a round against Loaded Lux. We don't give Lux. I mean, we don't give Cal enough of a break that Lux choked. That you would have probably lost that round with the little bit of Lux had.
I mean, we call it playing. We call it him telling his story. Sometimes you got to tell about what's going on in your life. And people ain't seen Cal in a minute. He was like, hey, man, I've been going through this. I've been going through that.
In front of a Loaded
Let me tell
Lux?
you what's up.
Is that the time?
Yeah, but at the same time, you don't know what Lux is going to be delivering. You know what I mean? You got to figure where Calico's mind frame was at that time. He wants to tell you about what's going on in the real one's life. Then I also think, too, if Lux was to deliver that second round, how long would that damn battle would have been? Because his first round would have been stupid long. That second round was dumb long to go with. And that third round was extra crazy long with the edits.
I'll tell you this. There was absolutely no way possible for Calico to walk out winning that battle. Let's just call it what it is.
Come on, bro. If he would have had a whole all around. That was crazy.
Vlad, before we continue to slide in the moments, I have to just quickly admit that battle does not age well for me.
It's just the third round, man.
It's just too much. Like, obviously, you were so excited to see Lux come back. He made his moment. He made his history. He gave you quotables. Big comeback for the choke and everything. Silence in the room. Special story. But on the technical aspect of battling, if that happens today, I'm complaining about everything.
It's a different day and time, man. 8 years later, people ain't letting some of that stuff slide.
All right, next sliding door moments. Whatever OG, he fucks with us. Shouts to the homie. What if Math and Rex happen on Grind Time instead of Smack?
Ooh, yo, you think that battle lives on in infamy as well as it does if it lands on Grind Time? I don't think it does.
Yeah, I can't say that it does neither, because I mean, they put on a lot of urban battles. Mm-hmm. They were very good on the West Coast. This was an East Coast thing. This was one of those you got to bring it home kind of things. And besides Disaster and Swave, ain't a lot of Grind Time East Coast battles that I'm putting over, the West Coast ones.
Word. And if that doesn't happen, I'm not so confident that URL is launched in 2009.
I mean, do they still launch? Maybe, but not with that battle.
Maybe, but that's what I'm saying. I don't think it would have been 2009, because you got to figure that was on Halloween. We had 2 more months. Holidays coming up, man. It would have been like 2010, 2011 URL would have got started. And then who knows how that pushed Grind Time. Like, that might have been able to help continue the Grind Time East Coast, give it some more light. Maybe some, other qualified MCs from the East want to come over, and maybe they start building up a roster with that. Because Grind Time they had a movement, dog. It wasn't quite as strong on the East Coast, but that might have been able to help push them over the top.
Hey, I concur with that, my brother. Red Tail Noob submits one to us.
Hey, what up, player?
Salutes to the brother. A sliding doors moment. If Mook and Calico battled on Summer Impact in North Carolina, that would have been the second greatest event in battle rap history. That's a very
if Mook
bold.
and Calico would have battled?
Like if they battled Dark Life that night. If it didn't get shut down.
That got you. I didn't hear that second part. My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been interesting.
That's a very bold take.
Nice.
I will say that is a very big sliding doors. What happens if they battle in that city?
What happened if the melee would have happened in that city?
Oh, come on.
Oh, I'm just saying, bro. Oh, now what? What happens if they win the fight? We can't talk about the fight anymore. The punch. We can't talk about the punch.
The point is, Vlad, the fight probably wouldn't have happened. That's the point.
How do we know that? Okay, because them boys would have had to spit them bars, and I'm pretty sure that your main man, Briz Rothstein, in his backyard would have been even more confident with his bars and would have been sticking his chest out even more to say what he needed to say. All right? And that could have gotten crazy down there.
I'll tell you what, though.
Packed house, boy? You see how packed that house was?
When battles have fights in it, the content it just gets lost. And it's really unfortunate because sometimes those are the battles with really good content, Vlad.
Yeah.
Like every battle with a fight has like a moment in the battle where you're like, holy shit, this is crazy.
Click, clack, boom to the stadium. To the stadium. What?
and then when
he was getting crazy on him, man.
When Briz and Top told Mook and Cal, fuck Murder's pen. I never respect. So I even forgot how the bar went. I'm not even gonna try to.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. But they had a bar like I never. Fuck Mook's pen. I never respected Murder Inc. Oh.
Yeah. But man, it would have got crazy, man.
Yeah.
Big white cops on horseback would have came out with the fire hose. German shepherds unleashed on that ass, man. All kinds of tear gas.
I think you're talking about what 40 years ago.
What? 40 years ago? You crazy?
You're talking about.
Okay, you go throw a battle rap concert down there and let guys start going ham and throw. They can't wait to put them billy clubs on cats. Are you crazy? Would have been nuts, man.
Hey, man, listen, we gotta get on our Shade 45. We're gonna talk like that. We on the air.
Hey, listen, brother.
This ain't too mean to stream.
I hear you.
They gotta go get that.
They gotta go on the Patreon for the 2 mean to stream. I hear you, dog. I hear you.
Hey, listen.
Pull the reins back a little bit.
I had to. Mr. J Flow, Joel Flowers, our brother.
Hey, what up, player?
They aren't biggest, but these are personally some of my favorite battle rap what if moments. What if Joe and I stayed on URL or never choked against Disaster?
Oh, man.
Those are two different. If Joe and I stayed on URL, I think he was Mike P before Mike P.
Interesting. I can see that. I can see why you say that.
Not just stylistically, which kind of is in the same style tree, I would say, but just of how he was underutilized. He was going to be underutilized.
Mm-hmm.
Mike P is being underutilized, which then creates him to be undervalued. Same as Joe and I.
The spine, I choose the line.
As for the Disaster thing, I don't care that he got bodied by Disaster. Disaster's supposed to be this all-time great. There's nothing wrong with losing to these guys. I guess.
Dogs.
Maybe it's the fashion.
The way that he lost was kind of. I think you're being a little too nice, France. What's up with this nice France that's going on right now? It's Sunday. You're quarantined.
I'm being nice to Joe and I because
the fact that he lost, it wasn't that bad.
Yes,
it was bad.
No. It was bad. It was bad. But I'm being nice to Joe and I because it's not like we haven't seen Disaster lose bad countless amount of times.
Yeah, but when you talk shit, like you talk shit and you think that you can just like wax this cat and you totally shit the bed. I mean, from end to end.
Disaster
like,
was talking crazy to a Cassidy hologram, and Disaster's the reason why Cassidy became relevant in 2019.
Shout out to the Cassidy hologram, yo.
Yeah.
Oh, man, the hologram was classic. Yeah, but yo, listen, man. That was a 3-round body each round. It was crazy. Even if he doesn't choke, I'm pretty confident Disaster still would have whooped that ass.
Yeah, I concur. Shout outs to Adam at Pakova. He says, "What if Conceited and Ilmac never happened?" Well, you take away Conceited's one of his greatest moments.
Yeah, and Ilmac only gets bodied one time in a day instead of twice.
I mean, for Ilmac, it's still in the red, but then you take away the greatness of Conceited, and Conceited. That was the night where, Gene Short Nation, they declared Conceited as somebody that they're not going to dispute against.
Word them up.
All right, Chambu Montiergo.
Okay, that's
Sliding-
an exotic name there.
Sliding doors moment. What if Verb didn't battle SB?
Ooh, Verb doesn't battle SB. Things could have been different, man. Brothers might have went back to St. Louis, and they might just been St. Louis battle rappers cooking in their hometown once again, man. I think that was a moment in time that had to happen the way it did.
I think it really does put a big sliding door on things, because February 28th, 29th, can't remember, 2009, it wasn't a leap year, so 28th. February 28th, if Verb doesn't battle SB, they all go back to St. Louis, no battles.
Yeah.
The following month, Young Ill and Remedy, who was out there for the Lions Den, is on Fight Club in New York, and they lose terribly. Now, does that mean these guys don't get chances again? Yeah, of course they probably do. They'll force themselves their way onto the scene, but we would have delayed our
second.
Yeah, we would have delayed ourselves on STL a little bit, because Verb having that dominant performance on SB in front of Murder Mook and Kaboom is what made somebody like Hollow Down and Rich Dollars say,
to go out to St. Louis, yeah.
Let's take the gamble on it. Let's take the gamble. And, then after that, you got to think, like, Verb did URL and Grind Time simultaneously. What if Grind Time had just gotten Verb a little bit faster?
Listen, I think the way that it went down to dead in the middle of the street with the whole situation.
One of the last street battles.
Yeah, that was the time where it was like, yo, and where it happened, in the hood in New York, it shed that instant light on St. Louis, that St. Louis guys could really rap and they're here to stay. I mean, Street Status was already having battles and stuff, and Verb already had his situation going on out there, so guys have been doing their thing in St. Louis. They've been nice, but it took for Verb to smoke SB in the cold on the streets for everyone, and for New York City to pay attention to them, to say, nah, I need that cat. I need to cook that cat. I need a piece of that. And it would have been different if they never went down. It would have took a hot second for St. Louis to get cooking in the scope of the world the way that they did.
Another part of that night, another supporter submitted a sliding doors moment that relates to that same night, Vlad. Yogi at Big Ben 302 says, what if Goods didn't have pussy lined up that night? And if you don't know, that's an insider. Goods was supposed to battle Young Ill, and the reason why he didn't battle Young Ill, he said it was too late, and he's leaving because he got pussy lined up.
Yeah, he had a threesome lined up and all that, and it was 4:00 in the morning or something of that nature.
And it was pretty late, and I mean, Goods is one of those guys. You can tell, like, he wants to perform in a certain atmosphere, a certain way, and if it's thrown off, he's not just gonna go off the rails and be like, for the culture. Nah, this is for my brand.
Right. It was late.
And ultimately, Young Ill would have been getting the look way more than Goods. So Goods could have been there having a debatable Young Ill, or unless he was going to clearly smoke it, which we don't know. And I don't, judging by what Verb came with, I'm not confident to say any of those guys would have got clearly smoked on that night.
Yeah, and we got to think about who Goods was at that time and what he was doing. And Goods is a guy who doesn't clearly lose battles that often anyway.
But this is before that was born.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So Goods at that time, he was doing his damn thing. He was smoking. Young Ill, I'm pretty sure, would have came well prepared just like Verb did. And we would have had a debatable great to classic battle that would have happened, and it would have been one of those battles that we'll probably still be talking about right about now, especially if they battled in the street too, France.
Hey, I want to tell you, Vlad, Young Ill and Goods is not off my wish list still. I would still love to see that battle.
Give in a small couple room. More battles, give him a few more battles back, and make it happen, Captain.
Griffin, shots fired battle.net at Griffin760.
What up, San Diego?
What if Verb and Shotty Hard actually went down? Is the only cancellation I'm salty about. Honestly, it just would have been one of those Titan matches. Shotty's a Titan, Verb's a Titan. But Verb does have the stigma of losing to all the guys that are the opposite skin color of him. So
opposite skin color, man. Word, man. That'd have been crazy.
Battle 7 white guys. It's battle 7 white guys, and out of those 7, you could probably only say he beat the Swords clearly because a lot of them come with turbulence, bad performances.
Right.
So 1-6 against the White Bulls, Vlad. It would have probably been 1-8.
That's ugly, Verb. That's
sorry, 1-7.
1-7,
yeah.
Ugly.
Yeah, that's something that people don't talk a lot about, but we'll get away from that. It's too mean to stream, I guess.
Yeah, let's save that one.
What other sliding doors moments we have here available? Ooh, another submission from my main man, DNA Tooth. He says, "What if?" Why are you laughing, man? Let me get this off. This is a good one. What if Holler Down and Loaded Lux never happened on UW?
Oh man,
it's a good one.
That never happened on UW. We missed out on
then he counters it with, then he counters saying, "Would UW be where RB is now?"
Hold on. If it never happened, would UW be where RBE is now? Why? Because that battle broke the bank, and UW kind of like halted a little bit after that. Is that what he's saying?
Essentially.
Oh, but then we missed. But France, right? Okay. So if you're running a league and you're trying to run it as a fully functioning league, I'm talking about every couple of months you're throwing battles. I get it. But do you trade that in for this battle that's like an all-time classic battle, though? Like, your league is forever solidified there. You know what I mean? But I say this, it would have taken a lot of work for them to become the next RBE, because that means Arsenal would really have to sit there and keep working. And I don't know if Arsenal had that in them to continue to do that.
Say it again.
You know what I mean? I don't know if Arsenal had it in him to continue to lay that game down year after year after year to take it to where RBE has, But they got one, man. They got a classic all-time battle.
Yeah, I can't say UW will be where they are now, because although it air quote broke the bank, it's not like Loaded Lux didn't come back there a second time, right? And the second time around was nothing like the first time around.
The same, yeah.
So that goes to show you it was all about the aura, the marketing, the vibe, what you brought to it. Because you got put down some amazing cards down the line. Then they got Shotty Hard to be on the league, Daylight, Sharon, B Magic, shit, man, Lux and Ars. Red and Sean, they got Pat Stay and DNA.
Yeah, some joints, yeah.
Tay-Rock and Sharon.
Tay-Rock and Sharon, yeah.
They had heavy hitters.
Moments.
Yeah, so
they didn't sustain it. They kept going. They still had some good events.
Their problem was the crowd
moments.
And the energy. It was just something about Jersey. Just besides Lux and Hollow, it never was. It never was
After
able to
relive.
It
Was the same again, yeah.
Nah. Next sliding doors moment. What else we have here on the list? Don't worry, there's no more DNA 2 submissions, so we're done there. Hey, that was a good one,
man.
That was a good one.
DNA 2, he's been pretty professional of late, laying low.
When he wants to be. Our main man Tiso from the Slack, our degenerate.
Hey,
what
what
if
up, player?
what if O Solo never existed? Where would battle rap be? Where would battle
come
rap
on,
be
man.
today?
Listen, man, we need old Solo in battle rap. Never disrespect the God. No one can disrespect the God. I love old Solo.
Yeah, you know, when you talk about Pioneers returning, they never mention his name either. And although he had a performance that was not quality for competitive battle rap in 2012, certainly a moment.
A moment that lives in infamy, for sure.
A moment,
man.
a moment that is kind of relevant to this day. One
Yo.
dude affects one dude. Two dudes affect three. Three
let
dudes
me say-
affect four, and four come back to infect me.
Yo, but honestly though, after that Swave battle, he wasn't bad, man. Like, but
No,
I think
yeah, I concur.
he ain't been bad. But yo, that Stain, man, is just crazy, man. But I'll definitely say one of the more original cats that came out of battle rap, though.
All right, this is one from Gene Short Nation here. Shouts to Dusty at Gravity Zero #1. He says, "What if Ilmac took Conceited and Hollow serious?" On the contrary, my friend, he did.
Word, man. Listen, it's never a good thing to take on two battles against two high class MCs on the same day, man. Like, that's just doing too much. There's no way you're coming out of there unscathed.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing if you get bodied by any one of those dudes at once, yeah, it's a stain. But the fact that it was like a double whammy,
Right. It's like, hey, you asking for too much, bro.
yeah, and I mean, I guess he tried to hit a home run grand slam, because if he had beat Hollow and Khan,
He would have looked like the man.
but
It would
I
have
mean,
looked
this,
crazy.
but nobody probably told him that was a long shot of an assignment. I mean,
Oh,
like, and I mean,
yeah.
retroactively. All right, hold on. Retroactively, in 2019, if you tell somebody to battle twice in a day, it sounds crazy. Let alone if you tell them to go battle two A-list names in a day. That sounds insane. In 2009, did it look insane still? I say yes.
Nah, because, he's from like that tournament style, so it didn't look crazy because of who he is.
But it's not a tournament style anymore.
No, I know, but I'm saying because of who Ilmac is, it wasn't that crazy to me. You see what I'm saying?
So he thought he could adapt. He could
Yeah,
add that feature
because he's
into
probably
the
like,
modern
oh, wait
era.
a minute, I'm used to battling 4, 6, 8, 10 guys in one day. This is just 6 rounds. I can do this.
So then that should debunk the theory of the WRCs in this modern era, where
Listen, you're treading down dangerous territories right now. The jean shorts, they're firing up right now, bruh. They're loading up the missiles to send it your way, my man. Watch what you say, all right? We'll save this for Too Mean to Stream.
man, you putting too much in that bag. I'm gonna give you one that you can't put on Too Mean to Stream. Shouts to Richard Howard Jr. at Iceberg Slim. He says,
Okay.
"What if Drugs would have landed that uppercut against Moon?"
Oh, he would have sent them to the moon, yo. That shit would have got. It would have got. Yo, I felt the air when he missed that uppercut, man.
When he asked that question, I was like, "How am I supposed to discuss this on air?" And he gave me more. He gave me more details. He said,
Oh,
"Okay,
man, let's go."
He said, "What if Geechee wasn't behind the tree?"
Then the NWX member never wears a tree in the battle, man. We don't get that cringy moment.
And then you don't get that bark haymaker from Twerk. It's actually a lot of little things that happen from that. Look at that.
Word, man.
Good job,
Oh,
Richard. You
man.
has a good sliding doors moment, actually.
Facts.
What else we got here? Oh, some more battle rap fights. Chris at Fuganozim, he says, "What if that one dude didn't style on him?"
Oh. Yeah, I remember that was a crazy joint.
Nixon,
man.
E and J. Oh man.
Man, kept flashing that. It kept flash dancing on him. Whew. Some crazy times in battle rap.
Chilka Prince at Chiike. What if Hollow and Danny Myers never dropped their battle as originally planned? So if they had kept the execution that they wanted to create for the battle. which was go on tour with it and do live watches of the battle with fans. Man, honestly, Prince, I want to say to you, I say to myself every day, what if they did that? Because it was different. It was a risk that I was willing to at least see how it happened in battle rap, and no bigger name than Hollow to at least try to take the risk. It made me concerned about the future of battle rap.
Yo, Franz, I thought it was a genius move. I thought it would have been a way to generate some extra revenue that can go back into the battlers' pockets. I think it also brings some excitement. It brought a new way to premiere battles. It could have been so dope. You got to figure, listen, that's like one of your favorite rap artists telling you, hey, man, I'm pulling up to your city, pay X amount of bucks, and you guys can come to a private listening party of my brand new album that the public has not heard yet. Why would you not want to pay, friends? You feel what I'm saying? It's like if Kendrick would have pulled up and said, yo, I'm coming to the Bronx. I'm allowing 100 people to come through and listen to my album. Would you not pay? You'd pay to go check it out, right? And that money goes right back in their pockets. Brand new revenue streams.
You would at least like
some
to believe
excitement.
that
Would have been dope.
Yeah, you would at least like to believe that these guys are big enough brands that they can at least pull some people in certain cities and certain markets. And because it would have been content that wouldn't have been accessible to everybody, you would have at least created the allure, the environment, and you could have been the first battlers to go on tour with content. Like, there were so many opportunities that would just flatline for the instant
Just
fee.
abandoned. Yeah,
for the I guess the instant gratification of what can come up front for the battle instead of the vision it could have built. So,
right.
And now, I don't know if anybody would like to take the idea and really run with it. I don't know if last second they pulled out because it wasn't as profitable as they thought. I don't know if they tried to engage a couple markets and didn't get any responses. Like, we never know. We'll never know.
I mean, listen, Hollow was going through a lot at that time. You know what I'm saying? The court case was happening. Things was getting funky. He was popping up on the internet saying all kinds of crazy things about people wanting to, we don't need to go there or whatever. But, I think it left a stain on anyone who wants to try to do it again, because a lot of people felt like, I got shammed, man. I got hit with the sham, and I think it leaves a stain if somebody tries to do it again and they're like, I don't know, man. Isn't that thing that Hollow tried to do and whatever? But I think it would have been a great marketing tool, but now we'll just never know how it would have turned out.
Yeah, I just want my battlers to do something where they can live off their content more than once. I want that for them. I will hope they want that for themselves. Vlad, we got to keep running through these. We got a couple of last really good ones here. I think this one you'll really love. Sliding doors moment. What if Jackboy versus Tech 9 went down instead of Jackboy and John on Gnome? Would Jackboy be currently who he is now? And what would have happened if Tech would have finally got on that big stage? I want to be the first to say this. Rest in peace, Tech. Tech 9 versus Jackboy on Gnome would have been fireworks.
It would have been. Listen, they were building it up. The hype was there. They got smacked to want to do it. It wouldn't have turned out the way that it did with John, because, man, we seen how that happened. That was Body of the Year of 2019. I think this would have been a closer battle, more engaging battle.
Vlad, we have not seen Tech 9, well, when he was still alive and actively battling, we have not seen him on a magnitude big stage since 2011. Like, he battled DNA on any given Sunday. That's a smaller room. That's 100, 200 people. You know what I'm saying? Right. As opposed to 1,000, 1,500 plus. You know what I mean? And remember, Tech 9 was supposed to battle Uncasa, Summer Madness 2. He was supposed to finally get his just due. He would have been one of those guys that bodied the Pioneer that night. Right. And plus, he would have got it on Harlem. Battle. Yeah. He would have got it on Harlem, which would have been something special for him. And the Rich Dollars performance and the Young Moms performance, they live on. They're memorable. They're quotable. They're fantastic wins. I would at least say on Gnome 9, now that he's built this rapport from being on Champion, who he is, being in the field, and him and Jackboy have this back and forth, and he can at least get comedic with Jackboy. And Jackboy at least gave you one good round. And Jackboy also wouldn't have been in front of somebody that could have, been so surgical with him. So it's not like he would have lost his bad knee. He would have gotten his ass kicked.
Yeah, it could have been what they were promoting it to be. for sure.
It could have been the changing moment of Jack Boy's career.
Could have been a changing moment in Tech Nine's career, man. It could have revitalized him and put him back into that prominent position if he would have delivered.
Yeah, because if you get like a 2011 Tech Nine in 2019, you're gonna be like, I need this again.
Exactamundo. And then he could say, I'm only holding out for the mega stages. Put me on Summer Madness.
You liked the Gyms battle. You were a fan of it personally. I wasn't.
I liked it, yeah.
But the promo on it was spectacular, and the battle was I'll say it was good. It wasn't as great as promotional run, but that Tech Nine was good. Yeah, that's still a small room. That's not a gnome.
Yeah, because honestly, like I felt like the Gyms battle. I liked his content in the Gyms battle. I even like his content in the Jerry West battle. So I'm like, okay, if he just brings me back vintage Tech Nine, if he's like, yo, I can really deliver on this big stage, and he did deliver on this big stage, boom. Now you're like, okay, I got one of my legends back. I can, build up storylines throughout the year, utilizing him on Champion, and then just bring him out when it's time for the big guns. I would have been with it.
Yeah, man. Another one here, Joel Seek, at Joel's aka Seek. What if Clips never gambled and had 3 fully prepared rounds every battle after he battled Rex? Ugh, I hate this one.
Why you hate it so much?
Because it's another one of those battle rap stigmas. They live on forever. And when you look at the data, it's not true. It's just, right. At least I don't think so, right? 2014, he bodies Rex, right, Vlad? Bodies Rex. A couple months later, he phones it in against Ilmac. He phones it in against Sharon. He phones it in against Marv 1. But then he gets T-Top, Hollered On, and Loaded Lux, which he didn't phone it in for. All you could just say is his opponent was just better than him that night.
Right.
In between that, he battles Pass, which he took serious. Battle Shoddy, which it was a nasty battle, but it was just nasty. Not like he didn't try. He battled Suge, has a great battle. This is all like consecutive through the year. So then he goes through a very long period of time before he just has another careless performance.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of times when you start to get a cult-like following, and then sometimes a negative stain is left on your legacy, it just seems to follow you around year after year after year. Even when he had a year where he did nothing but show up and like actually perform and had a good year and pretty much didn't lose a battle, you still would have people bringing that up. So I think sometimes, man, people just want to remember what they want to remember and try to leave that stain on your legacy. But he shows up though.
He from 2017 up until he battled Av, which is about a year and 5 months, so almost 18 months. He had close to 12 battles, and he was consistent in those 12 battles. And then he has the Av battle. He has the Av battle where he did bad, and the past 12 battles he did good in didn't matter. Or even if they were lackluster, he put effort in. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
I don't know. It's just a stigma that I don't like that Charlie Clips gets, because he has the numbers for like averages 1 million views. He has the headlines. He has the dominance. He has a complete resume. He had his prime where he was headlining any and everything moving. Headline on King of the Daioura at the same time. Headline No Midsummer Madness not once but twice consecutively. It'll never be done again. And he has 71 battles in his career. While he's on TV, he still comes back to actively battle. Like, give this guy a break.
Yeah, man. Man, salute to Charlie Clips, man. Happy belated birthday to Charlie Clips. I believe his birthday was
Is my Charlie Clips
yesterday.
rant, is it valid or am I overreacting?
Nah. I mean, it definitely has valid spots, but then there, I think the thing with Clips is like when he's phoning it in, he's really phoning it in. You know what I mean? And I think that just people just remember that, and then when they get that feeling from him, it's just like, ugh, I don't want to see you phoning it in. It's like you're not even trying, but he tries the majority of the time, though, man. I got to give it up to Clips.
All right, last sliding doors moment. What if New Jersey Twerk and Rum Nitty never had an altercation in Volume 3?
Classic. Nothing else to say about that.
They end off having a BOTY.
Yeah, nothing else to say about that.
Yeah, there's some nasty submissions here. Like, what if Math never punched Dose? What if Mr. Wavy was never corny? I don't know what to do with that.
Yo, if Math never punches Dose, oh man, Dose might have been. Yo, all right. If Math never punches Dose, and let's say Dose clearly wins that battle, that means now Dose is back out here on Next Smack joint, URL joint. His style never suffers. He doesn't go through the things that he had to go through. Yo, he went through a lot, man. Like, there's like a lot of, mental health issues behind that. Like, that Dose has spoken about that. Like, yo, it really affected him. Then he goes through his own personal real life stuff. Like, if Dose doesn't go through that, he doesn't have that stigma on his battle rap career, and that angle just doesn't exist, and people could just battle him with bars and stuff like that. Like, Dose was crazy. He was dope, man. And it would have looked nuts, man. It would have looked nuts for Math. Like, Dose would have been fire.
You know what, Vlad? We have 5 minutes left. We actually got a couple more submissions right before we're about to close up shop over here.
Oh, let's rock.
Let's run through these bad boys.
Let's rock, player.
These are real good ones.
Bonus time.
You'll like this one. Shout outs to @JRan85, and also want to give a shout outs to @Asimi_real, Asimi_real, whatever.
Salute.
Yeah, both these guys kind of asked the same question, so I'm just gonna give both these guys a shout out. What if Swave Sever and Daylight battle actually happened at Summer Madness? And what if Swave bodied Daylight? Would Swave be a top tier today?
Oh man,
I think that's a really good one.
That's a good question, man. First of all, I think we might have seen one of the better Daylight antics, because we've seen he had the whole crew and the GTA thing going, so I'm sure he had some kind of crazy angle, California and New York and all that. And Swave being a super New York guy, I think we would have seen an epic clash. It would have been dope. And wow, would Swave Sever had been one of those top tier cats? Friends, I'm gonna say I think Swave would still be where Swave is at. Because unfortunately, like, I think they had him and Daylight going last, like, just to see, like, okay, if this shit goes left, they're the last battle on the card, and we got everything that we wanted to get out of the way. You feel me? Like, I think that's how they were thinking about it. But I think Swave still would have been where Swave is at, though. I don't think it would have propelled him to, like, next level of superstardom or anything like that.
Well, I do think it does rob him of an opportunity to extend the momentum he had at the time period, because it's unfortunate, right? And Vlad, you know as well as I do, you are a bigger NBA, not a bigger NBA fan than me, but a longer NBA fan than me, because you've been alive.
I've been alive longer. Twice as one? Yo, come on, dog. You making me sound crazy out here, jeez. I've not been alive twice as long as France has been, all right?
Just about.
No, not just about, player. No.
All right. You've seen my life
crazy out here.
You've seen one and 1/4 of my life. Whatever. You have an extra 2 decades on me for basketball. There's always a couple years where there's that one All-Star. You're like, oh, can he be a perennial All-Star? So can he do this for multiple years? And then it's just like it just goes away. And then down the line, people never really appreciate that player. In fact, we're dealing in it right now with Rajon Rondo. Kids nowadays will never, remember the greatness of Rondo when he was with his big team at the time, his big four, and in the Celtics.
But you know what, though? He's got that ring, and he was an integral part of that team, and that's nothing that you could ever take away from him. So, he got that shot on the biggest stage, and he made it count. He made the passes. He made the jumpers. He ran that floor. Lowest of keys, man. He was a little general out there along with that big three. So Rajon Rondo, no matter what could be said, you can't take him away from the record books. And
I want to say kind of the same for Swave, because when you had that special night where Jersey just all died, December 2010, Swave was a part of that history when Old Red lost that night and choked, and Suge lost that night and choked, and Hitman and Arsenal went down. QP and Swave is a big body, right? And then he starts to gatekeep a little bit, and he's showing levels. They throw him a pioneer out of UW. He goes out to the Philippines to battle Batas, right? They get him on the King Juice card. Like, he had this momentum to him, so like. I think it's
I think it's unfortunate that he never got that shot to be on a Summer Madness or a Gnome or anything like that, because you never know, man. Let's say he goes ham on that stage. At least he could put that feather in his cap and be like, yo, I did it, B. I rocked it. I killed it. There's nothing you could ever say. He would have done everything. He would have got every battle rap badge that you can get, pretty much.
Yeah, man, I concur. The last couple ones here. Blake Harley, at B_Harley. What if Hitman and Conceited actually had a heated personal battle instead of a weird rehearsed performance? Does Wildin' Out still happen for both of their Does Wildin' Out still happen for both of them the same way? Do their careers change trajectories? I'm gonna say no, it doesn't, because look at the numbers of that battle. Meaning, it still produced what it would have produced if they gave another 2 rounds. In my opinion. If anything, for the fact it's only a 1-round battle and it's in a 4 million club, it speaks enough to their testaments.
I said a 1-round battle.
And the second round, that battle gets
Hitman's
too
second
much.
round was good.
Yeah, the second rounds weren't terrible. It was just a drop off of how elite both of their first were, and their third rounds they both mailed it in.
I think it was just the third round flub from both cats that like really just took that battle down.
I think the emphasis of that night affects him more because K-Shine did the same thing, trying to bring back all of his moments and get the crowd all hype, and everybody that night abused their stardom. So that's what I think of that. And what if Suge went to Detroit after dissing Proof? There ain't no shotgun Suge today.
I was just about to say that Suge may not be here, man, if you want to win.
Hey, Vlad, you'll like this one. What if Boom punched Big K before he pulled out the paperwork?
Oh, man. That would have been
selfish.
That would have been a moment for life on so many levels. Because
it would have been messier than what it is now.
Yeah, because man, it just would. Yeah, it would have been crazy. I don't even want to think about that. Let's not even promote that. But shit, man, it wouldn't have made that angle hit as hard. Boom would have been able to just kept it going, man. Would have decked him right in his face, took all the paperwork, and walked off the stage, yo. That would have been a classic moment, G's.
A classic moment.
Yeah.
For who?
For Boom. That would have been an infamous moment in battle rap history.
Okay.
White boy rapping, talking crazy. Boom! Grabs the paperwork, walks off the stage. That would have been nuts, man. All the Big K haters who were blocked by him online would have been they would have been vindicated. They would have been having a parade on Twitter, man.
Hey man, that was our sliding doors mailbag. This was fun. I always love revisiting history and just painting these what ifs because at least a good conversation.
Yeah, man. Salute to everyone who saluted. Salute to everyone who submitted a question, man. We appreciate y'all for rocking with us. All right, players. See y'all next time. Peace.